3/4, point and a half profit target, and it was hit right there. All right. Well, stops, Derek, are interesting because most traders use is a hard fixed stop, right? And so I'm going to step outside the box a little bit, and remember, all I trade is price. I really want to just concentrate on price. And so I'm going to use 3 specific stops to get me out of the trade, always. And whichever occurs first is what I'm going to use, right? And so I'm not going to have just one stop that's a hard stop. I'm going to use 3 specific stops to get me out of the trade. So the first is going to be a catastrophic stop. So you have to have some type of catastrophic stop in case something in the world occurs that it's out of your control. So you got to have that stop in there. So a catastrophic stop is a recommendation always. Let me just close here the office door. As I'm in Florida, it's hot and there's some traffic. All right. Now, the first stop is catastrophic stop. The second stop is going to be a prove it stop. And what I mean by a prove it stop is price proves to me that it is not going in my direction. So a prove it stop is going to be a close on the opposite side of the Atlas line. In this method of trading, I use a prove it stop as a close on the opposite side of the Atlas line. It's proving to me it's not going where I want it to go, so I'm out of the trade. Third but not least is the time-based stop. And the time-based stop is very important because it limits the amount of time that you're in a trade. So as an example, I talk to traders all the time and I ask them, when did you get out of the trade, or why did you hold it for so long? Why didn't you get out earlier? Why 3 hours later you're still in this trade? And they say, well, I have my stop, my hard stop, and if it's going to hit, that's my stop. And I completely disagree. I say to you, if you do not get your profit target or take your profit target within a certain amount of time, then get out of the trade. Right? You went in for a reason. There's a short trade here at 12.14 quarter. If it doesn't hit my profit target of 2.25 points within a certain amount of time, there's no reason for me to hold on to this thing for an hour or 2 hours or all day. I went in for a reason. I want to see instant gratification. It should go to my profit target within a reasonable amount of time. And so I use a time-based stop always to limit the amount of time I'm in a trade. All right? Hector, are you referring to the Atlas line, or are you referring to all the trades that I trade? Because the Atlas line is just one part of what I do. I have the at the open method. I have two scalping methods, and so the entire program of the mentorship program incorporates it all. It's really, we take everything, we put it together as a trading plan. So those of you who have the Atlas line, or those of you who have the at the open, you can absolutely trade it on its own. But more importantly, when you put it all together, you have a power price action trade occurring. That's what I'm taking at the moment. Or I have an at the open trade. That's what I'm taking. Or I have a Atlas line trade. That's what I'm taking. So there's definitely a combination of whatever occurs first you take. All right. The amount of time, Wayne, is typically 4 bars. 4 bars. If I am not able to reach my profit target within 4 bars, I'm out of the trade. Atlas line can give multiple trades a day, because if this continues further down, there's pullback trades and there's strength trades that occur as a trend continues and continues. So as an example, let me show you yesterday here. And you can also add multiple Atlas lines to your chart too, which I do on occasion when lunchtime rolls around or the late day rally, late day sell-off. I add additional Atlas lines, or even overnight for the currency traders that want to trade currencies. All right, so here is yesterday, right? I'm not sure if I included this chart with the video yesterday, but here is your double bar short right here. 1, 2 to go short. And then you have a strength trade to go short right here again. And I teach all of these methods during the, and here's another short trade right here. And now I don't do anything here. Price is pulling back. I don't really do anything here. Actually, there is a pullback trade right here, as a matter of fact, right there. But after this, I don't do anything here using the Atlas line. Here's a long trade to go long, and here's a short trade right here. And remember, I'm using a time-based strategy to get me out of the trade. So if I'm not able to make my profit within 4 bars, I am out of the trade. I'm out of there, right? And right away we have a short signal, and we have a strength trade right here, and a pullback trade right there. You got it, Bob. Okay, let me see a couple of questions here that I might have missed here. Time-based stop is 4 bars. 7:30 to 9:30 in the morning. Yes, I do, Jim. I'm going to add a second Atlas line to my chart, and I'm going to place it instead of the 9:30, which is the Eastern Standard Time zone for where I live. I'm going to put it for 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to add a second Atlas line to my chart for an overnight market. So we have an Atlas line plotting here at 3 o'clock in the morning. And so if you want to trade pre-market, prices above the Atlas line, this is where you want to be long. From your time frame, you said from 7:30 to 9:30, right there. Right? So I have an after hours or Globex session Atlas line. And Atlas line is good for currencies, any market you want to trade. There's no parameters. If you want to take a look at the back end here of the Atlas line, there's no parameters that you have to adjust or configure or optimize. There's none of that stuff. So all you do is place the text where you want the text to be seen, when do you want the market to open, and if you want it, which trades you want to see. You want to see the trade double closes or the trade crosses or the trade bounces. That's it. There's no optimization or linking of any number to the Atlas line. It does the calculation itself for the market that you pull up. All right. So this is the overnight, and if you want to see any specific market, I'll be happy to show you the market. If you want to see currencies, I'll pull up a currency chart as well. You can use other, Peter, you can use other time frames. You absolutely can. Euro, sure, I'll bring up the euro. Give me a second. I have to put the March on there. I don't have the March yet on there. The euro is a good market to trade. It moves as long as it moves enough. Why do I use a 5-minute chart? Peter's question here. Well, think about what you see here. Well, actually, I probably answered this in previous webinars. Does anyone know why a 5-minute chart is the ideal chart to trade? And you can put this on a 1-minute chart, a 3-minute chart, right? It doesn't change, right? Let's wait till it loads up a 3-minute chart here. That's a 3-minute chart. It doesn't change. The entries are exactly the same. 2 consecutive closes above and 2 consecutive closes below. That's still the setup for these entries to occur. All right? So you can definitely go to a smaller time frame, and I also suggest always to look at the ATR for the current market conditions. So if you go to a smaller time frame, you're definitely going to get in earlier. There's a little bit more whipsaw, which I want to avoid, and that's why I like the 5-minute as opposed to a 1-minute, for example. But I still want to take the recommended profit target based off the ATR. Okay. Blake, you need 24-hour data. And so if the Forex market you're looking at, uses 24-hour data because the Atlas line needs a couple of days of calculation to make it. You're able to see it on spot forex. What some forex traders do is they look at the entries on the futures, and so they correlate very nicely with the forex, and so they take the entries on the forex. All right. So let me pull up a euro chart. Let me just grab here and add the March euro. Right now I just have the December. Bless you, Chad. And let's go here, instrument manager. Okay. Yeah, I don't, it's a great question. I don't recommend trading during news events. All right? I don't recommend trading during news events because the chaos, right? We don't know if the market's going to go crazy to the upside 5 points or 10 points up or down as it usually does during